Welcome to an episode of Blended Views Unfiltered, where we talk life, love, and business. This is DeAndre.
This is Nick.
Hey, Booze, it's me.
And it's Kanisha.
We got everybody this time?
Oh, wow.
Everybody? All right. Everybody? Oh, yeah, forgot about that. How was everybody's weekend?
Mine was great.
That's all we got.
What?
Oh, mine
Yours was actually pretty eventful.
Mine was cool.
Excuse me?
Yours was cool?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Went to work.
Nick?
Had a very busy weekend, great weekend. Went to a wedding, a birthday party, and spent some time with family.
Who got married?
My aunt Crystal, well, auntie.
Oh,
I'm dropping names.
congratulations, Auntie.
Praise the
Yeah,
Lord.
auntie
Amen.
didn't get married. Auntie's happy. That's all that matters.
Why you say it like that?
Auntie done been through some stuff,
Oh,
so
so she found happiness.
she found happiness.
That's what's up.
We found
So,
love in
that's all we care about.
hopeless place.
He's a good gentleman. As long as he keep auntie smiling, he all right with us.
All right, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we just found out that we could put peroxide in JJ's to clean them out. So for all ladies who have an issue with bacteria, or you guys ran into an issue when somebody did a dip and sniff, put peroxide in them walls and clean them bad boys up.
You do that with a straight face. That's the part that worries
Yeah,
me.
because
The
we
most.
never said
That's
that.
the psychotic part.
So-
It's how much you do that with a straight face.
That's what y'all was just talking about.
And it's not what we said.
What was y'all talking about?
My God, today.
Y'all shoot some up the vaginal walls.
All right.
You're not shooting the
How was your
club up.
weekend?
Yeah. Ask him how his weekend
My
was.
week-
Good job, Sire.
My weekend was good.
What'd you do? And who you do it with?
I just chilled out with the fam for the most part. When I played back, I got 8 stitches in my lip right now.
Let us see it right now.
Is that what it is? I thought that was dry skin.
Ooh,
I did.
She trying to play you.
she didn't understand.
I
it.
didn't know. I
This,
really
this is the
did.
best it's looked since Saturday though.
Dang.
It was real.
What you caught an elbow?
At,
Caught an
at
elbow.
the church?
Caught an elbow. Yeah, elbow
did
to
it?
the lip, and my tooth went through my lip. Big huge gash. It was nasty.
Who did
Actually,
it?
Your stuff was leaking.
it was.
Who did
Yeah.
it?
I mean, I don't know the dude's name. It was some boy. He was about 21
Was that
years,
church?
20, 21 years old.
It wasn't
yeah, we
intentional.
swooping there. It wasn't
Yes, it was.
intentional. Nah.
He told me the real story off camera. Yes, it was.
I told you exactly what I just told them.
No, you didn't.
It is.
If that's the story you want to go with, that's fine.
it's-
Somebody hit him. He got into a fight. He got into a fight.
It's funny because I spoke to my good sis this weekend. She said, "Make sure you call Dre." I said, "Why?" She said, "Somebody punched him in the face."
That's crazy.
So you just going around spreading rumors?
I mean, it sounded nice.
I'm tripping.
You
'cause
should have
I-
corrected that thing.
I really thought
Well,
that.
that's
At that point in
what-
A
time,
whole
hey,
gym full of people as witnesses. I got elbowed in the doggone lip.
So make sure you call Dre.
I was
Sure.
trying to make sure
This joke.
everybody knew he was
You
okay.
was, because as soon as we got off the phone, Angel texted me and said, "Now one of your kids' moms didn't hit you in the doggone lip."
I didn't say that.
I was like,
I didn't say
said that fast, huh?
I didn't say that.
See how rumors get started?
Oh, they be spread like wildfire, don't they?
Yeah,
I really
had to go
thought
get
that was-
stitched up, man. That's how
I
bad
thought
it
that was
was.
dead skin.
Uh-uh.
I was like,
Dead
I
skin
ain't
is
never
crazy.
seen him have that dead skin sitting on his
You trying to
face
say
that
you need to
long.
exfoliate?
We need to go talk
But
about
I ain't.
that.
I was just like, that's okay. Yeah, it happens.
Happens to the best of us. I
Honestly, I
guess.
didn't realize until just now you said that.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
I don't typically.
You
Actually forgot about it.
definitely- Never mind.
Well, I don't typically look at men in the lips.
Luckily, you got big
that's what I'm
lips.
saying. You definitely.
Luckily, you got big lips.
Yeah, it was a little big. It was bigger though. It was really nasty. I'm gonna show you a picture.
I don't want to see.
I do.
Little cup was like, or a little gash. It was like, my kids was terrified.
I want to see it.
All right, I'll show you after this. Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. That looks interesting.
Let me ask y'all a question. For the women, if you guys were
No.
proposed to by a man,
He said bye.
by a man, I have to be specific nowadays.
Yeah.
Just
Okay, bye.
unfortunately,
like
yeah.
B-Y, not B-U-Y.
a man proposes to you, you say no. Is the relationship over?
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
That's a good question, actually.
It doesn't have to be.
Why doesn't it have to be?
'Cause maybe
give
I'm
me
not
reasons.
ready for marriage. Maybe I feel like we still have some things to work toward before we, say I do to each other. But I still want to be with you. Why does it have to be over with?
He just proposed to you. That's like, let's continue in life, and you're saying, no, thank you. I don't want to.
But marriage is a big step that requires a lot of things. So if I'm saying no, it's obviously for a reason.
Okay. What's your reasonings?
I don't know. It's like, it could be anything. What if I'm not, like she said, not ready?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I don't want to marry him. Some people your subconscious can kick in, just like, ooh, I don't want to marry because I know what I did yesterday.
What? What?
Self-consciousness.
What did you do yesterday to the point that you were declining a proposal?
Well, it's not me.
No. If you were in this predicament and you brought this up.
Right. So what if somebody proposed to me, but I was still sleeping with somebody else?
Why you doing that?
What could happen? We're talking scenarios, correct?
Yeah.
That's a crazy scenario.
Because
It's
most
a
people would just say
possibility.
yes anyways.
Oh, y'all ever
I
did?
think I might say, if I knew I didn't want to get married, I'd probably say yes in public and then pull them to the side. Like, my answer's really no.
No, you got everybody celebrating. And you
Listen, because y'all ever used to watch the game, Melanie did that to Derwin. Like, she said yes when he proposed, like, in front of, like, the football people or whatever, had it on a big Jumbotron. And then, like, in private, she told him no. But then, like, after a while, she wanted him to propose to her again. And he like, bitch, like, you didn't see what I did the first time? That's
What
crazy.
about you, Dick? If you proposed to, let's say, if you would have proposed to Shamar and she said no, would the relationship have been over or would you have continued?
We'd be skating on thin ice.
But is it over, though?
We'd be skating on thin. It'd be very close to it.
But what if her reasoning she gave behind it was like, I just feel like before we get to that point in our relationship, I feel like we have a few more things I would like to work on.
Well, I'm the type of person where at the point of my proposal, I would think that there's nothing else we would need to work on.
You
but
would
that's
think
you.
that. That
But
doesn't
what
mean
I'm
she
but
would
what I'm
think
saying
that.
is this: I'm the type of person where I'm not proposing if we're not ready to. At the point of my proposal, I would assume like everything is in order, and we would have talked about what has to be in order for us to make this step. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not proposing, questioning, thinking like maybe this might not work. Like that's a gutsy move.
Yeah.
That's just, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like at the point of proposal, you need to be for certain, because that'll jack a dude up and make you want to be like, I don't know if I want to do this again.
I mean, the proposal is decided by you ready and you were how it's supposed to.
Right.
The father. Like two men are making a decision if I'm ready to be married, essentially.
Oh, what if you ask for like your like you ask the dad and he says no? Do you still go through with it?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I agree with that. Yeah. Because really, I'm just coming to you out of
'Cause
respect.
there's stuff
I'm
like,
coming to you out of respect, and that's not going to be mine.
like a real man, and let me not put in disrespect to any other man. You're not really going to the dad for permission. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to get
Notify.
Out of respect.
out of respect. I'm not coming to you asking you, can I marry your daughter? I'm coming to you to let you know I'm about to do this.
The intentions.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what we talking about doing.
You're asking for their blessing.
But at that point, I'm a firm believer where it's like you need to be like, if you had a question it, you might not be ready. Because I knew a couple, one of my good friends jumped up and thought it was like, let me just make this move. And it might have not been the right move for him. And I just think that you need to be for certain that this is like you ready to make that move, and she's ready, because it's devastating for a woman to tell you no. Like, and it's the same thing with the dad. I mean, like you said, I mean, to me, I'm not asking for your permission. I'm just letting you know this is what we're about to do. I would like your blessing, but ultimately, it's my decision with your daughter. So, I mean, I don't, no disrespect, but that's just.
What if the decision matters to the woman? Like she wants to know.
She probably would have an issue with her dad, not more so than you, more so than the guy. Even if it was an issue, she'd probably be upset or want to know why. I'm sure she would question, because that's usually a woman's like first.
Well, what did my
thought.
dad say?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I mean, after you say yes and all that, like, did you talk to my dad or?
And what did he say? If I find out that you proposed to me, I don't know. I gotta figure that out, because I'm grown
The thing
now.
about it is, because that's what I'm saying. Like some parents just be super overprotective, and rightfully so. That's their kids. But a lot of times, like, you're super overprotective. Like, your standards might not be her standards. Like, oh, you got to have all your ducks in order. And a lot of times it's like, listen, man, we can, in my personal belief, and this is just me, I feel like, man, we can figure this stuff out as we go. Like, as long as you got some key things in order, you don't got to be perfect. She don't got to be perfect. But let's figure this stuff out as we go. Sometimes parents can be a little overprotective, want you got to be making six figures and be prepared for my daughter and this and that. I'm not saying that all them things should not take place, but it's like sometimes it's like, listen, we love each other and we want to move on. We want to take these steps now. We'll figure it out as we go. Yeah. That's just how I feel personally.
Well, hopefully the dad is looking at if, his daughter is actually happy. Has there been a progression with her personally with the relationship?
The older that they are, a lot of that don't even matter. They ain't looking at that. The older that they are, the more old school they are, or they could be caught up in culture as well.
Some parents don't even care if they is happy. It's like, is she secure? That's all I care about. It's like, sometimes, like, me and Shamar wasn't in the most financially secure position, but it's like, this is what we wanted to do. She was still in school. I was working, and her parents preferred her to be done with school by the time she got married. We was like, this is what we want to do. There was a little friction there, but it's like, listen, we'll figure it out as we go. I'm working. I'm willing to do what it takes, and she's happy. That's all that really matters to me. And I mean, it worked out for the best. Obviously, we married.
I'm proud of y'all.
That wasn't an easy transition.
That was gonna be my follow up. Was what if the parents didn't agree with the marriage? Would the relationship be over, or would you not follow through? Like if the guy went to your dad and asked for your hand in marriage and he said no, same thing with you, like
happened already. Actually,
okay, so we'll stick with Sio on this first one.
No, I'm looking at Drake.
Look, I'm like happened already, so just ask Sio.
Sio, go to your dad, like, oh, I want your hand. Your pops was like, no. Number one, is the relationship over then? Or do you still proceed after you find out that, after the proposal was done? Because let's just say he followed through anyways. And, you know.
I would definitely talk to my dad and figure out why he felt that this guy, obviously doesn't deserve to marry me. But ultimately, that decision is mine. Like, I'm an adult. Mm-hmm. My dad's going to make his own decisions regardless of, like, how I feel or whatever the case may be. But that decision is mine. So, yeah, I'm going to get my dad's input. And if at the end of the day, I feel like, you know what, thank you for your input. I respect you still as my father. But I feel this way, X, Y, and Z, and I'm still going to move forward with this wedding. I know that even after that, me and my dad still going to be in a good place because that's just how we are. And it would literally be like nothing after that. Still going to be there when I call. Still going to be there if something happened. That's it. So, yeah, ultimately, that decision is mine.
What if he refused to walk you down the aisle?
My dad would never. Mm-hmm. Like, literally would never. So I can't even.
So you were in the position in which your dad said no? He said no, or?
Listen, I was not there. All I know is.
But you had to find out afterwards what happened.
But see, they both still got two different stories. Both of them.
What were the stories?
One said, the spouse said, oh, your dad said, yeah. He said everything was cool. He trusts me, and this is good. I said, okay. He asked my dad, and he was just like, I ain't tell that man that. Just like that.
What?
Right.
So he told him no.
He said that he told him this was after I got married. I didn't find this out until like maybe I was married for like 2 or 3 years.
He still walked you down the aisle.
He still walked me down the aisle, but there was a lot of friction with us getting married. It was a lot of friction. It was a lot. My God, today. So, yeah. But at the end of it, they walked me down the aisle. But I feel like if my dad, and like you said, your dad would never not walk you down the aisle. I feel like if my dad would have said, I'm not walking you down the aisle, maybe some more alarms would have went off.
About
myself.
The spouse, or about
my spouse.
So it will automatically be about your spouse?
If my father...
If he said that he wasn't walking you down the aisle.
Yes.
It will automatically be about the spouse.
It would automatically think there must be something really wrong. And it may have made me wait a little bit longer. Because, my freaking marriage was, not the marriage, but the wedding happened real fast.
Yeah.
So I might have took my time.
That's typical.
A little bit longer if my dad would have been like, if you get married, I'm not walking you down the aisle. It probably would have made me think twice.
So what?
I wouldn't participate in my daughter's wedding if I ain't like her.
See?
You said you wouldn't?
See what I'm saying?
No, look at his face though.
Because
I'm thinking about it like,
because that's a really big thing. That's your dream.
So if you didn't like him, you wouldn't participate at all.
I don't know.
Because it's bearing
Now
witness.
I'm speaking of this very premature, not having kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if I knew this was a bad decision, and I just in my gut know, like, man, this is like, I don't know what I would do. Can you participate in something with your wisdom and your years and your experience that this ain't gonna work?
But would you know this based upon spending time with him,
Right.
or not though? Or you just saying this just because
I'm
of
saying
that?
you spend time
Would you
with this,
Would you base it on how much information that you have on this individual?
if it was me, I would. If I didn't know enough, I would want to spend time with him. Me and my father-in-law, me and him spent time together.
Mm-hmm.
I would take this boy. I would want to know everything about him. I want to know his family. Back in the day, my
Yeah.
parents used to be like, "What's your family? What's your peoples?"
Yeah.
If I know this man's peoples, know his track record, know his daddy, know things that I see, and it's just like, man, I don't trust this situation. The brother ain't got a job. The brother ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, honey, like, I don't know if this is a good idea. But Dad, I love him. That's all that matters. It would be hard for me to participate in something I know this is bad.
And that would be based on you actually having information, though.
I mean, I would have to. I'm not. This is
Or
not
time
a
being-
assume.
or
I
being-
will put
okay.
in the work to let me
Gotcha.
know. I think everybody. I think every father should know the man that their daughter marry, and vice versa. Every mother should know that. Like, I think you should spend adequate time to learn a person.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, back in the day, you could you go meet somebody's mother and father. Who your peoples? What's your last name? Where you from? Because they ask you like, okay, oh, you a reals. Oh, what's your daddy? Oh, daddy, your dad. Oh, you got a good dad. I know he a good peoples.
Yeah.
Oh, so and so your dad. Oh,
It's the root. They want to know where the root comes from.
Well, it's different nowadays too, though, because obviously,
we intertwined a whole lot.
some of our parents now are younger than they used to be, and everybody is pretty much to themselves more than they used to be. It used to be more of a community back in the day than it is now.
You're right about that. Like,
it's far different now.
Families ain't like in a town.
So in some cases, you don't even know like who you about to marry into, or who
Yeah,
it's a little different, And then if your son or daughter moves away and comes back with a guy from out of state or out of town, you know what I mean? Then it's like, all right, but still requires some time.
Yeah,
some sort of time you can kind of, you as a father,
if my daughter called me, I don't care if she live across the country. Hey, Dad, I'm thinking about marrying this boy. Okay, when y'all coming down, I want to meet him. When he come down, let me spend some one-on-one time with him.
Or I'm coming out there.
Or I'm
I
coming out
definitely
there.
think that a dad should spend one-on-one
Let me spend a little
time
one-on-one time. Not no scaring stuff. We see on
Right,
TV.
yeah.
Pull him in a room like off of, what's that,
Yeah.
Den of Thieves with 50 Cent. I ain't talking about that.
They all died.
I do that too, though.
That's crazy. They all dead. They all died.
Yeah. Come on, let's go out to eat. Let me meet this young brother. When you ask him like, what you do for a living, where you meet my daughter, what y'all?
What's your intentions with
Yeah, what's your
So
intentions?
your dad was like that. That's ridiculous. Your dad was like that based off information,
My dad,
not based off just assumptions.
my dad was validated, but I'll say that.
What does that mean?
His assumptions were correct, but he did not have the opportunity to spend time with him beforehand.
How long did you guys date?
How long? Yeah, was y'all engaged? and stuff?
Jesus. Okay. So we dated technically for 6 months. The 7th month, he proposed to me. Wow. The 9th month, I was married.
My.
Right.
I never knew y'all got this moved fast.
Yeah,
I
your
said
dad
it.
can't know that much. You don't know that much.
That's what I said. So my parents' things was they said, well, we want you. We don't mind you getting married, but can you wait? So me and him wanted to get married in September. They wanted us to wait until the following June.
Why did you guys rush it? Well, not rush it.
We was not having sex.
Oh, y'all was horny.
There we go.
Y'all wanted
That's
to do
one.
it a little
and
bit.
I'll deny it,
Hey.
but that's one. Two, we did not.
Better get married and burn in lust.
We really listen. That's what they say. But we really felt like we could do it. We really did, and we did. We really loved each other.
How long were y'all married?
8 years. Yeah, no, it was cool up until
Up
but-
until it
You know, to
wasn't.
get married after 6 months and last for 8 years.
yeah,
Well, there's
yeah.
some marriages that they get married within 2 to 3 months and they last 30
Years.
30
yeah.
years. I mean, it's really up to you. You got to have two people who are committed to saying that I'm going to say I do to you every single day. And no matter how you evolve, it doesn't matter what changes we're coming across, I'm going to say I do to you. Not nothing drastic. We understand there's some, what you call those things, deal breakers. But, as long as you are both saying and taking the steps to be progressive with each other, evaluate each other and plan, execute, you good.
So moving forward, if your dad says you're next, the next guy that pursues you,
Yeah.
if your dad said,
No.
don't do it, no,
I probably would think twice.
you ain't moving forward at all.
I would think twice. I would investigate a little bit more. I would probably not slow things down, but listen to my dad, as Sayo said. Listen to see what his reasons are, and then watch.
I got you. I actually,
But I
for
trust myself, though.
my last engagement, I actually didn't have the father's blessing. Can
Like
you
he
believe
said
that?
no, or did you ask? You didn't ask.
No, I didn't even have an opportunity. So he's
that's
Puerto
different,
Rican,
yeah.
old school, and he didn't want his daughter with a black dude. So he wasn't in support of it. Had nothing to do with me as a man, my character, none of that.
It was just you was black.
Tried making it seem like that at first. Oh, well, he has kids, and but it was ultimately because I was black. That came out.
That's toe up.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I ain't care, and she didn't either. So
Sure
I mean,
didn't.
still happen. We ain't get married, but still, it's just one of those. So I've dealt with both sides, because I've been married before, obviously. So I've got blessings, but it was like, this joker don't even know me. So that was a case like he didn't know me at all. Maybe he had been around me maybe one time, because her parents are divorced. So,
Yeah.
I'm more so like it didn't bother me at all because I already knew how he was. I was more so, I felt some type of way more so for her. Because although their relationship is what it is, it's still one of those things where like as a child in general, man or woman, you want your family behind you.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that support, it's just like, it sucks.
It makes it uneasy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
Yep.
Man, shoot question, Doc. You having a daughter, would you participate in a wedding if you ain't care for the young brother?
If I spent time around him, and it would depend on why I didn't like him. But just saying no just because of whatever, I would have to have reasons.
Yeah.
Like if she came to me and
Well,
was
if you had
like,
a legitimate reason, like, listen, I don't trust this.
if I didn't trust him and I knew just because of the questions that I ask and just then I would share that with her, and I would try to see where she was at after I shared what I shared with her, and would just tell her to just see how it is over the next 2 weeks to a month, and after that, after she did her own little whatever, then I would make my decision based off of that. If she wanted to proceed, I'm a supporter for the simple fact that she go do it regardless. And I love her ultimately.
Yeah.
But I will also sit down with him and let him know, like, I know this about you, and this is exactly what I told my daughter about you. Hopefully I'm wrong, or you change depending on whatever the situation is. But although I'm not going to insert myself in your relationship, know that I'm right there on the outside, waiting.
So your decision wouldn't necessarily be based upon me and you sitting down this one time. It would be like, okay, he asked me, I evaluated it. I'm going to tell my daughter, watch him for the next 2 to 4 weeks.
Depending on what it is.
And then you
it
make
depends
your
on what I
decision.
pick up from him. Of course, being around, I would hope to have been around him several times and maybe even had some one-on-one time. You know what I mean? And just kind of went based off of that. Based off of that, with the information given, him coming to me, I'm going to tell him right there, just like, I don't think, no. And I would tell him, I would give him reasons why. I would also share that I'm not telling you not to go and do it because you're a grown man, you're an adult, and y'all go do what y'all want to do anyways. That I do know. But I'm not going to give you my blessing to do it based on this information. They still go ahead and do it. I'm not going to go run to my daughter after that, though. I'm going to let it play out. If he still does it, I'll be there to support, congratulate. And when she does come to me, I'm going to share the information.
So I feel like there needs to be an evolution with this process. You know what I'm saying? Like a modern dayness. How about like instead of the man coming to the father, both of them just go to you? Because at the end of the day, in your scenario, you end up telling the daughter exactly what you told him. And you told him, and I'm going to tell my daughter exactly what I said. So what if like the daughter and the son just came to you and said, this is what we want to do? Do you think it'll change the dynamic of it?
Of their relationship?
Yeah, because then at that point, it kind of opens up the door for like a counseling, essentially.
For conversation with
them.
them.
And a conversation,
Yeah.
so to let you know that this is my evaluation of you both.
I wouldn't do it out of bias. Well, it would be a little bit of bias because that's my daughter.
That's
More
your
so
daughter.
like a lot would play into it. Like, where are y'all at with y'all lives? What are y'all like? I would just have a lot of questions that I would want to ask if they come, what do you think about us getting married? I would be completely honest.
Because that's why I never get the right story.
I think that that's a conversation that needs to be had, but I still think that the young man needs to walk up solely to the father because
Shoot, you just said it didn't matter what he said.
yeah, but you still got to have, the courage because at the end of the day, stepping up as a man of the household, like it's hard to say because as a man, like everything falls under a man's responsibility. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about like, biblically and stuff like that, God's going to hold the man responsible for y'all marriage. Like God's not going to come down and say, hey, why did y'all do this? It's the man that's responsible. So at the end of the day, it's like you're taking on my daughter. Like up to now, Dre has been the only hedge of protection to his daughter up to now. I am now relinquishing this duty and this responsibility to you. I need to know that you have the courage to do stuff on your own without having the feeling like you can only do this with my daughter next to you. No, you got to be able to be a man to come talk to that dad alone as a man, one-on-one. Look this man in the eye and tell him why you want to marry your daughter.
I saw this video on TikTok, and it was at a wedding, and the dad was like giving his daughter away to the guy, and he was crying, and he was telling the husband like, please don't hurt her. And if it ever comes a day like to where you feel like you don't love her anymore, just give her back to me and I'll take it from here. And it was the sweetest thing because the dad was crying so bad. It was just
But
like,
that's the point I'm trying to make.
look at this. He's like, just give her back to me. I will take her. Don't hurt her. And he was like pleading though, like, I'm giving my daughter to you. I'm trusting you not to hurt her. Like, I'm literally, like he said, handing her over to you. And if you feel like you can't handle these responsibilities, just give her back to me. And
But that's the
like,
point I'm trying to make is at that point of the wedding, it's too late to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like you on the roller coaster about to get on saying, hey, if you still don't want to do it, Joker, you here.
Yeah.
Like, that conversation need to be had at the blessing. Like, no, like if you don't feel like you can do this, let me know now. We're not going to go forward with this. At that point in time, if you can't do this no more, it's giving this man an out. Like, you ain't got an out no more. You here. You about to cross the finish line.
Yeah.
Like, this to death do his part. Like, that's it. Ain't no giving her back.
I heard this one dude explaining at the lip. This one guy was explaining, he says, women, we don't think of it this way, but how he explained it, he said, women want to marry their father.
Oh, who said it? Because who said it? Who said it?
And
Where's the lie?
He said, when you think about it, he says, for a young girl to be raised up with her father in her life, he's protecting her, he's kissing her, he's loving on her, he's providing for her, he's doing all of these things. So when she's looking for her father per se, and that man asks for her for his blessing, then it's an exchange at the wedding, one father to another. Like like you said, all of my responsibilities of a father, the love that I have for her, the covering that I've had for her, I'm literally relinquishing all of that and giving that to this next father because you're going to bear children, hopefully. But at the end of the day, you're still going to be responsible. You're still going to be the head, the covering, the protector, the provider, whatever that means to you. But from one father to another father, that's who you're going. So even when you go to broken families or maybe somebody who didn't have their father in their life, that's where the issue sometimes is happening in modern day, where a lot of times these women don't know the father that they're chasing after to marry because they didn't have it growing up. So they don't know how to identify who to properly get into an actual marriage with, a relationship, let alone marriage with. And that's what issue we're running into nowadays. Is because you're chasing after the father figure that you've never even
experienced.
Yeah, you've never identified. You have no identification of that. So until you go back, and even in that, when you go and you chase after a woman, right, you're chasing after her childhood first. You should be trying to figure out what her childhood was like, because when you marry her and you go on throughout the years, you're really competing with her childhood. It's really not other men or other things. It's her childhood is going to be your biggest issue. What she's seen growing up, what she went through growing up. If it's the more stable it was, the more stable of an individual you're going to end up being in a relationship with. The more erratic and chaotic it was, the more chaos and erraticism you're going to deal with in a relationship. If that person has not went through the proper channels of healing and growing and doing all those things.
My dad is the reason why, like, I believe in the whole, you are there. I don't care what your schedule is. I don't care who you are. People make time for who and what they want to. I don't believe in being too busy for anything. Like, I don't believe in that. And I'm not saying like, oh, you have to drop everything that you're doing to be here right now. No, but I do believe that every single person, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 5 hours, people make time for who and what they want to. And there's never going to be anybody to tell me, oh, I was too busy. I was texting this guy and it's so crazy. We used to talk or whatever, and we were texting. So we had agreed, oh, we were going to talk more, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was texting him and I was like, well, why haven't I heard from you, ugly? And he was like, oh, my bad. I've been busy. What's your excuse? I said, oh, goodbye, Mr. Busy. And that was the last message that I sent. And he was like, oh, thanks for asking for what I had going on. It may have been an asshole of me, but I don't care what you had going on. Don't ever tell me, oh, I've been busy. What? I'm not asking you to freaking come lay down a red carpet or spend 16 hours on the phone with me. Absolutely not. We're adults with jobs and whatever else we have going on. But the fact that I haven't heard from you at all when you were the person who said that you wanted to talk more, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I say this and people be like, oh, well, everybody can't do that. I'm not saying that you have to. But for my dad to live in Detroit and will randomly text me, hey, did you eat today? Or no, I didn't, or I'm going to eat here, and you drive 3.5 hours just to take me to eat and then go back home. Nobody is telling me that they're too busy for me. Nobody. I don't care who you are. Nobody. You make time for who and what you want to. And my dad, like you said, asked what her childhood is like, because my dad has set that standard for me. You're never going to be, oh, I'm too busy. God bless you. Be busy over there. Be busy over there, because my dad showed me there is no such thing as I'm too busy. Right. My dad do everything up under the sun except sell drugs and a lot of other stuff. But still, my dad is the epitome of a man. But it's like, you cannot, no, absolutely not. You want to, you would, flat out. If you want to, you would.
Yeah. I had a guy, he said that we were talking and he was like, I had not heard from him in like a week or two. And I'm like, so, hey. And I'm like, feel super disconnected. Oh, I'm busy. I got work. I was like, it's okay. And it's not like it was like the first time we've had this conversation. It was like maybe like the 4th or 5th time. I had a little higher tolerance than you did, Sio, but it's okay. But he said, I actually said, it's okay. People make time for what they want to. Mm-hmm. He cussed me out and said, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I can't stand what people said. I got to work. I got to do this. And I was just like, well, I just want to know, did you have time to wipe your butt when you used the bathroom? Yeah. Okay. Well, then I don't understand why you had to put, if you had time to wipe your butt, then you had time to sit on the toilet and pick up the phone and text me, hey.
Everybody got their phone in the bathroom with them. Like, it's your entertainment. So, everybody has their phone in the bathroom.
Correct.
I don't. I read magazines.
Shut up, Dre.
Either way, you still had time to pick up your phone, and you could have texted, hey. It could have been, hey, I'm super busy today, but I just wanted to let you know you were on my mind. Talk to you later. Boom.
You know what? Some guys don't do that, because even sending that little text message is going to strike up a whole conversation, and sometimes you just ain't got time for that. So
but they, if you hit TTYL.
So they rather just not tell you know what, I hit him up when I got time because some women like we like, yo, just want to make a quick call, say what's up, and then they carry on. It's like I said a quick call. I just wanted to say hi.
But I feel like
gotta,
it's all
gotta
in
go
knowing
now.
who you're
it's all-
dealing with
yeah,
too.
you know
Like
what I'm
if you
saying?
know, like
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it funky.
you can't do that with, oh, she want to sit on the phone for hours. Hey, I don't have a lot of time. I know you would like to talk. I will contact you more when I do have this amount of time to talk. But I did just want to check in. Hope you're having a good day. I will talk to you later. Goodbye. That's it. I'm not
Let me
asking
ask you one
you.
more thing. You'd be like, no.
No, like not. I said no. What I say before we even
I
got
mean,
no.
if you continue with that conversation, you just be like, listen, I told you I gotta go, and then like the next time you do it, she tried to call it, come back in. I told you I have to go. If you are more consistent,
my line.
then she's gonna be like, okay. Eventually, she's gonna be like, okay.
Get off my line.
I know you gotta go, so
I couldn't date that. Well,
Hang up.
I take it back. Only person that has, I really don't got time for anybody outside of my wife.
oh, you already married,
Yeah.
so it's okay.
So it's like
you,
this is
yeah,
it's
irrelevant.
fine. This is
But no,
irrelevant.
this, I like. There's people that it's like I know that this conversation, like I got friends that it seemed like I'm dodging you, but that's like I really don't have this hour block right now to talk to you. I know you won't want to. I know you won't want a half an hour to call, and I'm like I really don't have this block right now. Somebody text I'm a bad responder outside of my wife, but I get what y'all saying. No, I agree with y'all.
Yeah,
There's nothing to
say-
send a quick
I'm
text.
one of those.
Just say
I ignore a
something.
phone call in a heartbeat.
if I don't have time to talk, I won't answer it.
It's only certain people. I got a like core group of people who I know I answer the phone no matter what, or shoot a text back or whatever. Outside of that, it's kind of just like, all right, that's what's up.
But you make time for that core group of people.
Yeah.
So you're making time for who and
You
what
want
you
to.
want to.
Yeah.
Right.
And the ones you don't, fuck them.
Right, because what we not gonna do is act like your phone ain't in your pocket. What we not gonna do is act like you
You
ain't got
see
that
that
watch
phone.
your hand. What we
Yeah.
not gonna do is act like
No, with my kids, I ignore everybody though. Sometimes.
You're making time for who
You
and
want-
what you
you
want
want.
to. This time right here is for my
And
kids. I don't got time for y'all.
so when you're single, right? And I know it's, let me not say it's uncommon. It may be, I don't know. But when you have kids as a man, it's looked upon different from when you're single with, as a woman. So as a man, it's like, well, most men ain't with their kids all the time. Well, most men ain't whatever. I spend time with my kids. So I like to give them my undivided attention. You know what I mean? I clown around, we play games, we do all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, so when you hear, so someone be like, oh, you ain't with your kids all the time. It's like, all right, yeah, that's what's up.
But you got
Yeah, I'm
custody.
gonna holler at you though.
I actually like my kids.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
My kids like me, so it's like,
I don't really.
And see, I respect that.
I
'Cause
don't
like,
really.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Frank, go.
I was gonna say I just don't. I don't really like outside of Shamar. There's nobody I like really having 24-hour access to me.
And that's fine. You already have
Yeah,
your
yeah.
person.
No, I agree. Like I said, I'm just talking. I agree with y'all.
We want to get there.
Yeah, no, I don't.
We want to get there. Okay.
I mean, like, I will talk to whoever whenever I want.
even when y'all get in a relationship, y'all pick up the phone when y'all see me calling,
No.
I'm gonna be honest.
or I
with
come
you.
knocking at your door.
Oh.
Me and you get on the phone. We usually talk for a lengthy period of time. So like, if you call me and I don't have the time, I'm not answering it.
Nope. I would get on the phone. Hello, black ass. Don't got a lot of time. Whatever you gotta say, make it quick. You got 3 minutes and go. Like that's.
But I typically make the time. Usually, if you call me, I'ma answer it. Most of the time.
I come knock
You
on
don't
your
call
door.
me. You don't.
Whose door?
Wow,
Both of y'all doors.
that's crazy.
Don't come knock on my door.
I come in. One of them weed heads will open up your building
They
door.
moved out.
Did they?
I'm so happy.
Oh, that's pitiful.
No, it's not.
You get a straight natural high walking through that building.
Listen,
I felt like I was in the hood again.
That's probably why Rocco grew so fast.
Oh, please.
oh my God, she was over there eating.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Cannot. Well, I got a question. Do you guys base the Oh, is it time for that? It must be time for that.
Go ahead. I don't even know how long we've been recording. Where are we at?
39.
Oh, yeah, we
This
good.
man
Go ahead.
said.
We got 45 minutes flat.
Right.
Go ahead. What you say? What you say, friend?
Nope, it's gonna open up a whole can of worms.
Now, let's
Take us
see
out.
what you got.
You better be a 6-minute question. Say, nah, go ahead.
What you got, Deesh?
No, just do the takeaway.
No.
Go-
Come
go
on.
ahead, go
Come on.
ahead.
What you got?
I was going to ask if you base your relationship with someone, like the marriage part, off of what their parents are actually doing. Like if their parents have been married 4 times, if their parents are still together. Is that a factor?
I do want to know all of that though.
I'm
I'm not going to base it.
I'm not basing it.
Yeah, I'm not basing it, but I do want to know that.
Hold on, can I get
Like,
a
what
little
have
more
you seen?
information?
What?
So you said you base your relationship like so.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Your decision. Basically, do you make?
that's why I'm asking you because I'm not.
Do you make a
say
decision?
that.
Are you going to make your decision based on basically what she grew up, or how she grew up? Like, did she grow up in a 2-parent household, or did her mom marry 3 times? Did her dad marry a couple of times? Did he have women in and out of the did she grow up around that? Or are you
What
making
they
your decision
seen.
based off of that?
Plays a factor, unfortunately.
But are you making your decision whether you're going to marry her based off of that?
It's not going to be my deciding factor, but it's going to play a role.
Into your decision.
Yeah.
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 I mean, because like the way I look at it is like, man, you it's a 50-50 chance you can go right or left.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you grow up with a woman we just had a conversation about a toxic woman.
Mm-hmm.
If your mama toxic, you have a 50-50 chance that you're going to grow up either toxic or you're going to either find that normal or you're going to like hate, like, my mom was like this. I don't want to be anything like my mom.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to just weigh out like, okay, what the heck am I getting myself into? Because subconsciously they might not understand. Like, unfortunately, it's like you might get a woman that's like you said, their parents wasn't grown up. She don't understand the dynamics of marriage. And it's like not having the dad or not having like, it might be hard for, I know this word get tossed around and it's hard for people to hear. It might be hard for a woman to submit to a man if she ain't never seen submission from a woman.
Instead of saying submission, because it's hard for them, just say accountability. I was talking to a group of women,
I like
some
that.
family, some not, over the last week.
No,
And that seemed
submission
to be, and instead of that, I submitted that word instead, accountability.
No, you
And
should
at first
have did that.
I got a little backfire from it at first, but then it was like, some older, some younger, some around our age, and it was like,
Accountability and
accountability-
submission is two different things.
yeah, I know, but like accountability plays a part in that, and accountability kind of stinks amongst the female culture.
And submission.
What's a flamel?
Accountability,
What's a flamel?
female. Amongst,
saw a video
amongst
today.
women, accountability is not like, you guys kind of hate accountability.
Damn.
A lot. I know, but I agree with you there though. And then you don't know, because if somebody grew up watching bad decisions, they may know like, man, my mom or dad, let's say my mom made bad decisions, made terrible ones, but subconsciously they do too. It may not be to the extent of
That's anybody. I make
what
bad
their
decisions
mom,
now
but
based
like,
on
it's
what I
like,
grew up on.
man, but like, okay. So I think asking the right questions and not being afraid to even call out and ask certain things when you're in a relationship and you see something, address it.
You know, we're going to have that conversation. Submission versus accountability.
Yeah, I live that.
Takeaways?
Takeaways?
I just want to know why y'all looked at me.
I didn't look at you.
Yes, you did.
I was just looking at
That's
her.
like the thing. You finally looked at her for something.
Stop it, because now you're going to get them started.
No.
My takeaways is
Every time I look up, she typically be looking at me.
my takeaway is
Well, you
Take
say
away.
that, you added an S the last time. You added an S, you have to switch it to R.
I don't need an English lesson.
Okay.
Nobody is ever too busy for you, boo. And if they make you feel like it, kick
That was
they.
only a portion of the conversation.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
Kick they funky ass to the curb. That's
How
my
to
takeaway.
kick them.
Like that. And make sure you stump first, like.
You pointed your big toe. I was about to say.
You got to point it.
He pointed that big toe.
Kanisha?
You know, I think make sure you are observant.
Absolutely.
Take into consideration the things that need to be considered. That's what I got.
Nicholas?
Support your daughter even if she wrong.
What?
Support your daughter.
Don't do that.
But no, because you know what?
Oh, yes.
I made a comment, but then learning from a father, you know, I kind of thought about what I
As you
said.
should have.
I mean, I rethought. Didn't mean I was like, I changed my thought. I just, you know what? I was maybe a little harsh because I ain't got my
Reworked
daughter.
it. You reworked it.
I just revisit it. It ain't,
Change your heart.
yeah, not all the way. But he influenced to think about like, maybe he is right. Support your family.
How about you?
As a parent, or just keep an open mind, because we made mistakes. Our parents made mistakes.
Period.
Their parents made mistakes. Our children are going to make mistakes.
Period.
And to be completely honest, every last one of us has done whatever the heck we wanted to do anyways. So you rather them do it knowing that they can still come to you rather than seclude you and keep you out and end up going through hell without even coming to you. So keep an open mind and just remember, it ain't your life anyways, it's theirs. All you can do is hope that the influence that you had over them growing up plays a part in their decision making.
Say it again.
It may not, depending on where to go, but everyone has a different everyone has a different way of living, thought patterns, things that I looked at and viewed growing up. My perspective is totally different than my sisters. They went down a path, I went down another path. So all in all, you just gotta hope that they stay grounded. And for those of us who are this age now, just keep an open mind. Even if your parent did not agree with your decision, go and ask them why. Don't be angry with them. It's going to be their decision. It is what it is. And for those of you who have parents who did not take time to get to know your significant other or your fiance or boyfriend or girlfriend, go talk to them. Ask them why. If you can't get a legit answer, live your life. Yeah. Especially if they're racist. So with that, play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.
Whoa, wait. Before you cut it off, we just want to take the time to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered. We want to thank all of our faithful listeners and all of you who have not tuned in faithfully, but you're just now tuning in to all of our nonsense. My man Nick got a message for y'all.
Always remember, if you guys ever wanted to write into the podcast to just tell us about your relationship, ask us any questions, get our advice on everything. This is Blended Views, so we could give you a view that you might not see in your day-to-day relationship. Always remember, write us in at info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com. That is info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com. I would spell it. I don't know how to spell all of those words. So let's just keep it at info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com.
And he's not lying. Y'all know he struggles with that. So after y'all get done with all of that boring stuff and you want to just write in and tell me how delicious I look, make sure that you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And don't forget, we are streaming on all streaming platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. Make sure you tune in, subscribe to every single channel as we release content every single week. Until next time, play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, and keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.